What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Justin, here with Meelz. What's up, Meelz?
Chilling, man. Here, as we're barreling down towards the end of the fucking year.
Yeah.
Just so much stuff going on. I don't have three things, maybe not yet,
Oh boy.
but I do have one thing that I guess we have to talk about. We just have to.
What?
The Chicken Big Mac. The Chicken Big Mac. All right, thoughts, experience. Where did you buy it? How did it? What was the experience like? Set me up real good. Chat me up.
I had you brought up the chicken Big Mac in a chat that we're in, and everyone kind of had like a nigga what type reaction to
it. they thought it was like you read the episode of the Boondocks where the fried chicken turned everybody into monsters. Like I felt like that was the level of like reaction we got. It's like McDonald's is actually not good for you, and I haven't had it for years. I was like, and then I was just like, all right, relax. Like it's.
To be fair, I didn't look at you like that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, by the way.
I am not a shamer. You know what I mean? I'm not a shamer of the food arts. But I do appreciate.
You're like 10 years younger than me, telling me about how it's bad. I was like, you don't think I noticed?
Bro, I was like, man, shut your ass up. What are you talking about? But so I didn't shame you, but I was slightly intrigued. I kind of like went away from it when I saw Kai Cenat was selling it. I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good on this. But I tried it. What was it? Last Wednesday, Thursday? I tried it last Wednesday, Thursday.
Last Friday. Well, you told me on Friday. So I'm not sure if you had it on that Friday, but I had it on Friday immediately after you told me.
I think it might have been Thursday. I think we're getting old. But what was I saying? I tried it. I literally drove to go get it. I was like, I'm gonna go try this chicken Big Mac. I'm gonna see what it do. And I went out to McDonald's, got it. It's a ticket out here. It's about $12 out here. It's a ticket.
Oh, listen, do you remember your first Big Mac?
Yeah, I remember thinking I was an adult because
I had Big Mac. Like, all right, this is it.
Like, here I go.
And I remember just like, because like it's not only Big Macs for me, it's Big Macs for like if I get a Big Mac, my sister has to get a Big Mac, like my mom has it. So it was like this isn't like a cheap thing, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody gotta get Big Macs. But at the time, probably all three Big Macs cost to how much this fucking chicken Big Mac costs.
Yeah, pretty much. It used to be $8 in Virginia. At least it used to be $8 for a Big Mac meal, like $8 straight. And then it was a little bit less for a quarter pounder. Like that's how we was living, if you can believe it. But I got it, I tried it, and I was actually really, really impressed. I actually really thought it was okay. And again, like people always it's bad for you. And nigga, we know. Chill out.
Yeah, relax. Come on. This is not wrestling is bad for you. Like, relax. You're here every week.
Like the hell this show is bad for you. But the patty is actually like fried like the nuggets are. So that was the one thing that I had recognized. And I was a little unsure about the mac sauce and the cheese, but it actually kind of like went. And actually, I felt as though, and this is the hot take. Like, I think the chicken is better than the burger version of the Big Mac. But the issue is that it's two fucking patties and three buns.
Yeah. So to me, like, and I'll say, I guess this is the difference between a chicken sandwich and a Big Mac, because I feel like chicken sandwiches typically have their own like accoutrement type vibe.
Are you saying sandwich?
No, I'm not saying sandwich.
Okay, I thought you were saying sandwich.
That's crazy if I did say sandwich. No, but I feel like the sandwiches, like, they're like all right, let's look at the McChicken, right? Mm-hmm. McChicken, to be honest with you, is like 60% the actual patty.
Yeah.
And most of the work is done by the mayonnaise.
Yes, 100%. And the way that it's fried is like, I know people like it, but it just feels limp. It has no like.
Yeah, nah, it's like a sock. Like it's like a sock filled with mayonnaise and fucking chicken,
Yes.
and some lettuce. But this one, so I'd say this: I liked it. I probably won't have it again, right?
Same here. I am never eating the sandwich again.
Yeah. That's what we came to. And I asked, shout out to Ugly New York Rob. He said the
Because
exact same thing.
what happened was like my wife got it, right? And like at like 3 bites in, she handed it to me. And I was like, I'm not eating this shit again.
Yeah.
She was like, it's too
Because
fucking
you don't really feel great after a couple. Like it's good it's worth it for the first bite. I don't know if it's worth it for like really getting down to the nitty gritty of it.
I got
Like
it. I got it at like 11:30, and I didn't eat again until like 7.
I got it. Yeah, I got mine around dinner time, and I was like, yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it for the day.
you probably didn't eat again until 2 p.m. the next day. I'm telling you.
Not really. No, like it to me. One, I guess it was too much. It was like it also was like it's very much still a Big Mac. Like
Yeah.
everything, it reminds me too much of the Big Mac, which I don't like eating in general. Um, for me to be like, okay, I'll eat this because I haven't had a Big Mac since the Sweetie meal, and I don't even understand how she does that.
Well, I mean, she puts shrimp cakes on it. Hershey Kisses are inside of it as well, and an egg on top. So we we get what's going on there. But you know what? It actually made me have an argument for that they need to start selling the Big Mac sauce as a nugget dip, because I feel as though it was like I didn't recognize or realize that the Mac sauce actually tasted good with like the chicken nugget kind of flavor.
I I feel like they won't do that. I don't know what they're so protective of this fucking Mac sauce. It's not that anyone can tell you what Mac sauce is. Just
Thousand,
anyone who's worked at McDonald's.
Thousand Island. That's all it is.
It's but I don't know. To me, I had it once. It was fine. It's good for once is an experience is how I'll like summarize my review for it. Once is an experience. After that, I don't know what to tell you. But once is an experience.
After
So
that, you're just showing off.
yeah, because you're doing a lot if you're continuing to like get this shit every week. It's not that serious. But they did bring back those $5 meals. So they are like heavily pushing the $5 meals again, which
Yeah.
I like because I see a lot of like fast food places now. They're prioritizing the pickup, like go in and actually pick up your food over like ordering your food from da da da. Like they're prioritizing like special deals if you come in because I'd seen like the KFC around me was like 8-piece bucket for
Mm.
like $7 on Tuesdays if you come and pick it up.
And that's for trash chicken. So
Yeah.
like,
And now I think Popeyes is doing. Listen, Popeyes, they're doing 3 pieces for $5, but I remember specifically the fill-up box or whatever it was called
bro,
from Popeyes.
yeah, you taking it back right now.
Bro, for $5, I was like, I remember I finished the final ones, and I was like, I'm about to thrive and dine for $5. And that is where $5 is really the cheat code. That's where the buck really ends and stops. Because remember the $5 footlongs, once they became more than $5, I was like, I'm not eating this bullshit Subway. Like Subway's not even that good. I just bought it because it's $5.
Oh my god! But listen, I guess our reviews are the same. Good sandwich,
Yeah,
for McDonald's standards, but we'll never have it again. So
absolutely.
if you were on the fence, chicken Big Mac, get it while you can. If that's what you do, here's my thing.
Okay.
I'm going to rant. I
Okay.
don't give a. I hate the pinky up judging you for eating garbage, people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Come
Like
on, man.
everybody got their thing, all right? Like I like for people that's like, ugh, I would never. Listen, relax. We're not about to food shame over here, especially with the shit that I see on TikTok every day. I ain't food shaming nobody. All right.
Nah, not at all. Second thing. Oh fuck. Let's talk about this fucking Pharrell Lego movie.
I literally just went off on the chat about it. Fuck that movie. All right.
That movie is, first of all, it made $3 million the first weekend.
Flopped.
That was $800,000 more dollars in the My Hero Academia movie that came out this weekend that had no fucking
No promotion whatsoever.
no promotion at all, bro. Like it's a I can only imagine how much they spent on that using like Jay-Z's voice and like Britney's voice and like Busta's voice and all this other shit like that. This is the most bullshit. Why would they make a biopic? You make a Lego movie, you've kind of seen how the Sonic movie is gone. You've seen how the Mario movie is gone. You make a fucking Lego movie. I mean, Lego doesn't really have like an actual character itself, so that's probably a big reason why.
Yeah.
Um,
But also, but like the world of the Lego movie is like 10 years old. Like, who
yeah.
gives a shit about any of that? You know what I'm saying?
So,
Like, so this was originally supposed to be an animated musical, originally. And from what I understand, at the last minute, uh, they wanted it to like it was going to be for one, it was going to be live action into animated, and then like at the last minute he said, I want it to be Legos. I want to be Legos. So they had to get the rights to Lego in order to do this. And I think Universal, I think this is getting distributed through Universal. So as a matter of fact, Universal bought the rights to the like movie, like to use Legos in movies. So he had to go through Universal to actually do that, and it was a bunch of like legal red tape in the end. So like it I've heard from people that worked on the movie they did not have a great time. They didn't have a fun time having to do
mm.
that. And this is a movie that was been worked. This been in the process of being made for I think over a decade at this point. But I'm gonna be real, man. Does anyone like care about knowing his story?
No, like that would have been a. I don't even know if a TV movie would have sufficed. Like, no, like there's no world where a biopic about Pharrell's life feels interesting. It's not like the Bobby Brown story. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Like,
he's interesting. Like it's not like
yeah,
he's like particularly interesting himself. So
I don't think there's any arc with Pharrell's career besides like not being on, then being on, then coming off, and then being back on again.
yes,
Like, yeah, I don't understand. He's like, I made dope beats, but then he's also having issues with fucking um, Chad and all this. It's like a little muddy water type of thing. So I was like, I didn't know it came out this weekend until after I saw it. And then fucking I'm not even gonna say his name. It was like, how come no one took their kids to see this movie? I was like, you gotta be shitting me.
the lasting image that I have of this movie as a whole is I don't know if you remember this when Pharrell was at this event
Hmm.
for the movie, like a screening, and a lady came out and she was like, "You are using animal products on your Louis Vuitton line." And he all he said was, "God bless you, God bless you." Then he says he looks at like, and she gets escorted out, and he's like, you know what you do when people act like that? You got to say God bless you. And I'm just like, no, nigga, like that's wrong. Like
Yeah,
you shouldn't be doing shit like that. But it was the most tone deaf thing I'd ever seen. Like, and again, like this goes into my thoughts about like celebrities and black celebrities using like religion as like a and like a solve for things. But
hmm,
it's like no, like this person raised a good issue that you were doing, and you instead of like addressing it, like you kept saying God bless you. And I know like no, like you're absolutely doing exactly what she said. I don't know. He's I think he's lost sight of like the world at this point.
I agree.
I'm
I
not a fan.
think you're so far gone. I wish I was that rich to be that far gone from like grounded in reality.
Mhm.
Um, but he is absolutely that. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing. And then final I guess I did have three things, huh?
Yeah.
Um I watched Starting Five on Netflix. That shit beats the fuck out of Vince McMahon's documentary. Whatever Vince documentary was supposed to be, or whatever it is produced by me, they need to go to the people who produced the Starting Five. The Starting Five is an amazing documentary. Like 10 episode docu-series about five players in the NBA. It's about LeBron. LeBron is the best part about this shit. Not even gonna lie. Um, LeBron, Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's just like dad who's just trying to win a championship and he ends up winning a championship at the end.
Mhm.
Um, Jimmy Butler, who started out pretty like I was like, oh, he's kind of lame, and then I think as you see a lot more, I guess, vulnerable side of him because his dad passes away during the filming of this,
Mhm.
and he's just kind of got to like he had to go through the playoffs earlier this year with all of that in mind and just trying to win for him and all this other stuff, and then he gets injured. Who the fuck was the fourth person? And
And
Edwards.
yeah,
Anthony Edwards was, of course, incredible. This man is the most charismatic. He
I
would be
saw
WWE champion in like 20 days.
I saw someone creaming their pants because he said, I don't look up to nobody." And I'm just like, "That's y'all problem.
Yeah.
Y'all too cool for everything."
Well, he's lying because he clearly KD is his GOAT. He said it multiple times. He beat the fuck out of KD in the playoffs. And he was like, I can't believe I did that to KD. Like that's his only thing. So him and his journey, him having the kid and all this other stuff like that was incredible. And then it was like Demontis Sabonis on the Sacramento Kings, who was like, he was cool. Like I thought he was OD like foreign guy, but he seems like an actual like down to earth like regular person.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, but I'll say like going through the process of the last year with them, all five of them, LeBron going through Bronny's cardiac arrest and the importance of family and the importance of things. I was like, this is whatever the Vince McMahon doc was supposed to be, this is what it should have been. I don't know if you could have followed Vince McMahon for however thing or if he would have let you or whatever, but the in-depth capture of their lives was just incredible. I This is like probably one of the best sports documentaries I've ever seen ever.
You kind of wish that they or hope they do that with actual WWE wrestlers. That would be cool. Like
That would
a
be amazing. Yeah, keep fucking Bill Simmons and whoever the hell it is away from it. But yeah, I would. That to me, going on the road with them, and who would be like great like subjects if you had to pick like a starting five for WWE. Netflix has to follow five WWE talent for like essentially a year from after WrestleMania to the following WrestleMania. Like, who would you pick
is this? I mean, are we
over this year? So like coming up to like next year's WrestleMania.
selfishly? You would want to say Roman, right? But I don't think he'd say yes to that unless he was in the twilight of his career.
He should. I mean, it's fucking Netflix.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, but I think realistically, selfishly, I want Roman. Realistically, it would be Cody. Cody would be cool. I might do some like off the cuff ones, like Cody, Trick Williams.
Trick Williams. I
Uh,
think Trick Williams would be cool.
I feel like Bianca's been done to death. So like Jade,
Yeah.
Bianca's been done to death. We
Well,
know that.
Jade, you just go on vacation with her every other weekend.
Jade. Who's a newer person
Well,
that
you could do Punk. Punk is like coming back.
Punk is cool, and one more woman. I think. One more woman.
Charlotte? Am I? Do I want to say
I
Charlotte?
don't want to say Charlotte. I feel like she'd say no. Um,
I feel like she's interesting though. Like
yeah, true, true.
it's
I mean, it's a cornucopia of people. Honestly, Braun Breaker, to be honest with you,
mm,
would be cool. His
I would
home life
fuck.
and stuff like that. Like, I think Trick Williams is just a 100% have to. You have to
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
That doesn't want. He's an intriguing guy. So like Cody, Trick for sure. Punk is cool, but I feel like again, it's like how much are we gonna really get out of CM Punk at this point? Like, unless he's gonna talk about it more in depth about the AEW stuff. You know what I
Well,
mean?
he does. I think it's more so like so all of them had like kind of like different paths and building up to the certain point that they kind of all culminated to. And I think Punk for the last year rehabbing from an injury, but also trying to ingratiate himself with the new current crop of superstars, trying to become a superstar back on his own and kind of reestablish himself after all that kind of happened. And then, like, what does finally, he searched for all these years to reach a WrestleMania main event. What does that look like when he finally attains that goal? I think that would be a great, like, kind of like story to build up to there. If he does indeed get the main event of WrestleMania next year.
What about Gunther?
Gunther would be cool. Gunther would be cool. I think Io would be cool too.
Yeah, you'll be pretty cool. There's a lot. Again, this could be multiple seasons. So like again, like these are just what we think. Like I do think that you have if he says yes and you could get him to do it, like Roman is just such a great choice for this type of show. I
I
think
agree.
he's fantastic for this type of show, and he just has the just the personability for that to work.
Hmm.
And I think you be crazy to not have him have him do this show. But yeah, I'm gonna check out Starting Five. You've sold me. I wasn't like caring, but now I see.
Yeah, no, it's like if you really want like and it keeps you up to date with all the game. Like it's done really really well. I was so shocked of like how well it's done. Um, the first episode is not about the first episode is only about the interesting people, and then the second episode gets to everybody else. Um, but it is done very very well. Um, speaking of stuff that I watched over the weekend,
Oh no.
Wrestle Dream.
Well, I didn't watch Wrestle Dream, so I mean,
Well, I
chat.
feel like you know what? I feel like we switch it out every now and then because I have not watched All Out, and I or All In or what the fuck the big London shit was.
Yeah, I watched that, didn't I? I think I watched that.
Yeah, I think you watched it. I didn't watch that. Have no intention on watching that. Sometimes I'm just like intrigued, but this card was very like we this card was so thing last week that we completely forgot about it. Like we
Yeah.
did the show. You typically were like, all right, Wrestle Dream's coming up. Like, what are the big angles? What can we talk about? We completely forgot all of that shit. I forgot it was a pay-per-view coming until them Tuesday ratings came out. I
Well,
was
I
like,
mean,
oh shit.
I guess we got to talk about that too. Uh,
Yeah.
like that's another thing we got to talk about. Listen, Wrestle Dream seemed to me like it was a by the numbers AEW show by pretty much every metric that
It was very much a B show.
yeah.
Like a very B show. Because a lot of the A stars weren't on it in a major capacity. Um, but that the build up, the lead into it, that Dynamite being on Tuesday against NXT for that hour, and then the lowest ratings for a Dynamite that's ever existed.
And I mean, I guess looking at the what AEW did at Wrestle Dream, just in terms of like who came back at the show, is them basically saying like we need fucking help.
Yeah.
And I would I would shudder to think, or I would wonder if some of these people were actually ready. Now we had seen that MJF was supposed to return imminently. I think when Meltzer reports it, I'm like, you can pretty much just check your watch because he's probably going to show up literally within days. But
Hmm.
Adam Cole, they were reporting he had been backstage a couple of times. I'm gonna be real with you, man. I saw the clip of him coming out and him taking off, you know what I'm saying, showing off his arms. Are we serious?
I would have had a jacket on.
Are we serious? Are we serious?
I would have had a long sleeve tee.
He has gone backwards.
Arm shooting sleeve, something.
Like,
No, I mean, to be fair, like I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because he had an injury where it's just hard to be mobile just in general.
what
Like,
Meelz, but they don't work out there. They
I mean,
don't.
they don't. Well, yeah, they don't. And there's a couple of guys who look in great shape and maintain themselves in great shape and maybe can afford a trainer or something along like MJF. You know what I'm saying? MJF, by the way, MJF's hair plugs is crazy.
Dog.
You like Kid and Play.
I'm like, bro, your hair didn't even look like that 3 years ago. Like,
No, it didn't, bro. I was like, all right, relax. I just kept saying, all right, relax, bro. Relax.
and you know what? It's not wrong getting hair plugs, but
No, there isn't.
getting them that young is nuts. Like,
It's, I was like, relax. Like, there is nothing wrong with getting hair plugs. But I was like, relax, bro. Relax. But no, I mean, I give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt just because, like, I mean, yes, his arms still work, obviously. Like he could have picked up a weight while he's picking up the controller. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? But I don't know.
looks like Asmongold got a fucking AEW contract.
He needs, but it's even him returning. Like they muddied that water. So I don't even want the feud. They muddied it up so much with his return, which I'm just like, mind you, he locked in until 2032. That nigga's never leaving.
Don't
That,
even think about it.
that he's never leaving, bro. He's just never leaving. But they muddied up that return so much because this is a return. Oh my god, I forgot what the original match
So
was.
the match was Perry versus Shibata.
Shibata.
And Garcia, for some reason, comes out to confront Perry, and then from the Perry goes to MJF,
Like,
and
how
then
did he know he was gonna be there?
exactly, and then and then MJF whips Garcia's ass, and I was like, oh well, nice contract you signed there, bud. And then from that ass whipping, it goes to Adam Cole returning, and it was the same thing that happened when they did it with Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole what 3 years ago. And it's like y'all can't keep stepping over returns like that. You just did the Garcia thing. You couldn't have just had that wait and let it breathe and did that on TV.
That nigga Daniel Garcia disappeared like you know when wrestlers leave in Warzone and just disappear. WWF Warzone just disappear into the crowd.
He
He
had
just
the same wrestling pose too, the same standing pose as well. That is what Daniel Garcia is to me. He is a well, we gotta talk about that too, because on the Dynamite, he comes back out, he cuts his heartfelt promo to silence.
yeah, no, it's I don't like
I
my
don't.
thing is
I feel like they had him as a pawn to do that on the show, and I
I
feel like it blew up in their face for sure.
as it should have, but I also feel like I hate that wrestlers have to I like that they have different options, but I hate they have to either choose between a bucket load of money or to be properly developed. Because apparently, like 7 out of 10 times, they choose the bucket load of money.
As they should,
As
but
they should, but it's like at the consequence of like, all right, so now what? Like
well,
now
we
what?
see the now what. We see the now what now. Now what? He's factored in. There was a report that came out and say he's factored into serious creative plans, and I said the serious creative plans is that he gets to stand next to MJF and Adam Cole. That is a serious creative plan because, as I've said before, no one is ever going to overstep those top 5-6 guys that Tony loves.
Yeah.
No matter what they say, they're never gonna overtop those. And I think Garcia fell into that. We'll see what happens there. I don't really know where he's supposed to go from there. But also on Wrestle Dream, they had the triple threat: Osprey, Takeshita, and Ricochet. Meelz?
I like the match.
No.
Let me just get that out of the way. I like the match. I thought it was a good match.
You can like the match all you want.
I mean, I'm just gonna say that I like the match. This is not me trying to like hide behind anything because I have serious critiques about it, of course. But I'll just say that out of the very few matches on this card, which to me, like a lot of it is like, why is this here? Why is Beast Mortos versus fucking Hologram here in a 2 out of 3 falls match on a pay per view? The collision division is what I call it now. But the I don't Osprey is like Osprey might be the dumbest homie.
Bro, he is like a star that don't want it. Like he is like he's the biggest star that don't want the stardom.
Did he come to save AEW? Like was that his goal? Or was his goal to be like a top talent finally in an American on a national stage? Like did he come in service of AEW? Cuz he's pulling to me he running like Cody was during his first run.
He
Like
needs to meet Kevin Nash. Like he needs to like go meet Kevin Nash and just have Kevin Nash, like you gotta pay him, of course, but I'm pretty sure that's not a problem. But like you gotta pay him to like literally teach him like the game.
business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the game, because he is lost way too many times this year. I think that there are people who have lost considerably less than him. I think Swerve's probably lost less than him this year, huh? Gotta be.
Like yeah, no, for sure. But also he's like I'm taking the pin in this match so my mate Ricochet doesn't look bad. It's like he already looks kind of bad. Like he was not factored into any. First of all, this became a triple threat match out of nowhere. This is supposed to be the big Osprey Ricochet, let's feud, let's do it, all this other things like that. And then he's just not only factored out of the program and the person who is just randomly inserted wins the championship, but now Ospreay's following up with a complete spinning off into a completely different program. So where does that leave Ricochet?
You tell me.
Nigga, I'm
You
trying to
tell
figure
me.
this shit out, bro. I'm trying to figure this shit out. Where does it leave Ricochet?
I would argue you said he looks
The
back.
learning tree.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. When that happens, I'm leaning back in my chair, Meelz, and we're gonna have a 30-minute conversation about it. And I'm gonna have a ruler and I'm gonna slap your hand with it.
Well, listen, I can't say I don't know what he would have been doing in WWE. If Ilya still gets injured, he's probably in a better spot now because you see what they doing. They turn on Dragon Lee's. They said turn the Dragon Lee on.
Shut up.
They said turn the Dragon Lee on. You got no one left.
You already know he would have came back and got his he would have circled back on Braun. You know how they're book shit.
Well, Dragon Lee about to get Braun. Give it a month or two. You're gonna feel the Braun as
You
well.
don't
But
even know that. You don't even know that.
I'm
You
just
don't.
saying. I'm just saying. I don't know that. I
But
don't.
you're still arguing to this day that Ricochet would be doing nothing in WWE right now.
I don't know if he'd be doing nothing, but
Oh
nothing of
my
real
god, move
significance.
it. Oh my god, moving on. Well, what else is on this fucking blasted show?
Let's talk about the main event because I don't really care about any other shit that happened. Because Wrestle Dream was not. They beat up fucking Private Party for like the 8th week in a row. Yeah, Mariah May came out, had a match, and apparently no one wanted to ask her questions at the scroll.
He said, "You have a real bright future." Da, 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 da. I don't give a fuck.
It was like, all right, bitch, get the stepping.
To the man who said, "Talk bitch" to you. So you think that anyone's like respect? I'm just being serious. Like, you think anyone's like taking you serious when they allowed him to say that to you online on the show? Like, talk bitch. Like, what the hell? They thought that was cool. Another
Where do you?
another thing that I found like disturbing, right?
Sure.
Is that the Swerve stuff is coming around. It went viral on
Oh my god.
went viral, and someone
What
made
went viral?
the syringe spot went viral.
Oh yeah.
And somebody was like, well, you see, it was crazy, right? That everyone in the comments are thinking that this is cool, and the regular WWE people hate it. And I looked at them comments, and I was like, that is actually not what's happening at all. There's like a lot of people saying, what the fuck is going on with wrestling now? There's actually almost zero people thinking that shit is cool.
That shit is not cool. Let's get that out of the way. But it's also, first of all, Swerve
Cool.
returns to the pay-per-view, comes up dressed like a fucking Puritan, and then
He's dressed like Swerve is dressed like a
your grandmother's dinner table. Like,
he's dressed like a mission giver in Horizon Zero Dawn, bro. Like he's like he looks like a fucking idiot. What a
yeah.
doofus! You can't dress.
I was like, Brody King outswagged you. That's crazy.
Then there's a white dude saying he got that shit on. I'm like, bruh, I'm a fucking I'm gonna do like,
I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you. That's what I'm gonna say.
bro, fuck out of here, bro.
But no, yeah, and Lashley never fucking came. Wasn't that a piece of shit?
Well, I think isn't like the Lashley thing something. I will give him this. Whoever listened to whoever there, I'm sure probably Lashley was like, why would you uh reveal me here? How about you just wait for TV when it'll mean more? I mean, he's Lashley. It doesn't mean anything, but it would mean a little bit more if he did that.
I mean, I don't know. At this point, beggars can't be choosers, nigga. Niggas is just not tuning in. Lashley could return, and no one could be watching.
Well, there is not going to be a sizable change to anything going on when he comes. You're right.
There's another head-to-head NXT AEW show next month because of Election Day.
Oh yeah.
So NXT is moving because of Election Day to Wednesdays, so everyone can be like, "Oh my god," da-da-da. But if NXT beats them on that goddamn day,
they're still going to be on network on network TV. So like,
yeah, we'll see. We'll
it'll
see.
be
But
even if not like slightly over for sure. But yeah, that happened. Then the main event, Ryan Danielson versus Mox. it took a lot of craziness to get here, but they did it. And
They had the first 5 minutes of them. They're beating each other up to the final countdown, and I was just like, I get this is kind of cool, but also turn that shit off. Like it's just like the final, and they're like beating each other. I was like, this could be a music video, like bro, like come on, you're about to be on HBO Max, and you're gonna have to mute out the first 5 minutes of the show because
yeah,
of this.
yeah, yep, 100%.
So it just is what it is. But I want to ask, and you know what? I wanted to ask this question a couple weeks ago. I think this is the best time. Are we in a new era of AEW?
Again,
Well, is there another?
the
I can't
last
figure.
new era was when Edge came.
I'm not counting that.
We were in the rated R era. Did we forget about that?
Is this a new era of AEW with John Moxley being, I guess, the AEW champion in this kind of gimmick and ousting Bryan Danielson from the company thus far? Even though I'm sure he'll be back.
I mean, I guess. I mean,
Because this has the potential to be something, but I also don't trust AEW enough to believe this will be actually something.
well, you're
Like,
right. It's not going to be anything, but
right.
like, I think that it's clear to me that this whole Brian thing is, you know, a way for them to kind of get out of this era where he was, you know, a full-time wrestler. But I think with Mox, it kind of serves two masters. Like Mox can't be away from that title for too long, Meelz. Like he just can't. Like he's like the
Yeah.
biggest star that they have. And for them to have kept him away from it that long is kind of crazy in a lot of ways. But I also feel like as far as new era, like I mean, you saw it at the end. They're looking at their new era, and it's people that they've had for 5 years on payroll, and they've never really done anything with, and that's like Darby and Daniel Garcia and fucking Hook.
Yeah. I mean, I asked this for this reason on Twitter. I said, who are the top 5 faces in AEW right now? And the reason I asked that was because essentially, if you're going to have a champion of the caliber of John Moxley, and I say caliber not by like wrestling ability, but caliber by star power compared to everybody else. If you're going to do this reign and essentially should be building someone, you kind of have to look at the environment and all the cards that you have there. And a lot of people were saying Darby Allin, Will Ospreay, of course, Daniel Garcia for whatever fucking reason. I was like, what? Okay. um, Orange Cassidy, and they might have said Swerve, but I
Ugh.
don't know if Swerve is an actual face. I don't know if Swerve also wants to get beat down, wants to be in a reign of terror, beat down. Oh, they said Adam Cole. Okay.
Adam Cole. Okay, I can see Adam Cole. That's still nasty, bro. That's a nasty
Yeah.
lineup. That's a nasty lineup, bro.
It's you get good matches out of a couple of these things, but I don't think you'll get like a game. None of this is changing the game, and what I'm visualizing for this Moxley reign is legitimately like the first part of Roman's actual reign when he came back in 2020.
Yeah.
Now, but they also have this fucking albatross it is where Christian has to cash in this fucking contract. So Christian will be champion at some point over the next year. So it's
He's
not like
kinda,
they can
and
fully replicate it.
he's like seemingly gonna go face for this. Like seemingly going baby face for this. Like it seems like they're swapping a lot of people right now. Um
Well, they can't make a good fucking face to save their
they
life.
can't. And again, if he goes babyface, he will be lost in the shuffle because everyone turns like all of AEW champions are heels. I know a lot of people making a big deal out of that out of that point. I think it's a salient point, but I also feel like it's not going to be permanent. I think like when companies do that, it's to set up the next big babyface to beat them.
Mm-hmm. But
But
who is
exactly, exactly.
who is that?
I don't think that there's anyone that's gonna move that needle, because they have called their audience with surprise after surprise, announcement after announcement, big match after big match, and there's not really anything major happening anymore. I think that, like, to the same effect of, like, if someone beats Bianca and Jade for the tag titles, I think that, like, honestly, with the work they've been doing for the past month with those titles, I'm eating crow, because they're fucking working. They're on every show. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And they look great doing it. So when someone beats them, it makes sense. There's nobody
right.
like that in AEW right now. Like, that Brian had a defense against Okada a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. No one remembers that shit, because it was so over fucking booked and filled up with BS. They have effectively numbed people to anything that has any effect on what would change their fortunes around right now. Like, they're numb to it. There was a
I
fucking
don't.
triple threat with Osprey and Ricochet. That would have been a big deal 2 years ago, but they never built anything to it.
Yeah, because I think the only thing that I feel I can replicate a kind of run similar to this is end up being Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny, and I think that was probably the most like conventionally strong face build, like the cowboy shit promos. Probably it's the best thing that fucking Adam Page has ever done. But even then, like, how did they capitalize on it? He wins the championship, and he's a fucking dork. Like,
Yeah.
he has all these defenses, and then he's a dork, and then I think he loses it to Punk. Yeah, which is
Right,
funny.
but I mean, then Hangman loses to Jay White, right? And then Jay White moves on. Say, fuck it. All right, bye.
After Hangman Adam Page just beat the shit out of someone in your main event last month, now he's opening the pay per view losing. It's like, where's the consistency? This is why it's like, for a long time, I remember I would have the like optimism of like, maybe they could do this, and I'm thinking just from my own eyes of booking, like just standard wrestling, like booking that actually works.
Right.
But time and time again, I've been shown, and there's so many times you can play in my face before I'm just like, all right, stop playing in my face. There's so many times I've been shown where it's like, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all doing. Like, like long term, y'all don't know what y'all doing. SmackDown has this, probably might be the strongest assortment of faces in wrestling right now. They got Roman, they got Cody, they got LA, they got Randy, and I mean, if you're talking about women, they got Bianca. But they have such strong faces that have all had their moment, have all been built up, have all had these superstar caliber moments that have been paid off. And in AEW, it's like Orange Cassidy is part of a tag team with Kyle O'Reilly.
And
Hook just got out of the Jericho thing, and now he's not doing anything.
well, he's trying to find out who beat up his dad.
Yeah. Darby is Darby. He gave up his championship match a month ago that essentially made this thing happen. Like,
Uh,
it's, to me,
and and
it's
now we have Shelton Benjamin there facing off against Leo Rush. So there you have it.
it's that's WWE right there. That's 2019 WWE.
Fun, fun for everyone. So yeah,
It's
that was
it's nuts, bro. Like, to me, the this has never been more of an inflection point for the company in the last year, after the Bucks kind of screwed a lot of things up.
whoa,
Dropped the Punk.
whoa, whoa, big dog. We got the money already. We good. What you talking about?
This
Whoa,
is
whoa.
this is such an inflection point within their business. They could, don't get me wrong, Moxley could end up turning face because he might get too badass. You know what I'm saying? Badass, too badass, where it's like, oh fuck, we like him because he's so badass. But
Whoa, big dog. Shane McMahon on the way. We good.
I hope the fuck not, bro. Um, but no, it's this, to me, it's an inflection point. But I can't trust AEW to do this stuff. They're pretty terrible with this.
I can't trust AEW, period. But you know who we can trust? AJ Styles himself telling us that he's cooked. He
Boy,
is
is he.
someone went on, I guess he went online last night, I guess. So there were some people talking about they didn't believe that he was actually injured and that this was a work. And AJ Styles went on Twitter to say like, "Nah, this is real. I got a Liz Frank injury." He was like, basically said in layman's terms, "I'm cooked," and everybody died. Everybody in the world shed thug tears.
Yeah, he is cooked,
What's
cooked.
what's crazy to me is that from what I understand, from what's been told, is that the AJ injury quote, I'm using quotes for this injury, right? The AJ injury quotes was supposed to be a work until it actually turned into a real injury. Is from what I understand?
That's a that's just putting bad shit into the universe, huh?
Yeah, like the AJ
It
injury
worked itself into a shoot,
was supposed to
or shoot injury.
it was supposed to be him because they didn't want. I'm guessing they didn't want to beat Carmelo, but they didn't want to beat AJ either because he was starting the retirement storyline.
Right.
And so now we have a situation where AJ is now shoot injured because of this. And yeah, it's a long road here, but it's terrible. Liz Frank injuries, they end people's careers. And I mean, he could be out for upwards of a year from this injury, and that's gonna postpone his retirement thing even more. And he's not gonna be the same person when he comes back. Let's be real. Like AJ was already like kind of declined and
Yeah.
depleted. He looked great
Yeah.
this year, though. I will say this without a shadow of a doubt. The first 4 months of this year, he looked fantastic. He had a classic with Cody, one of my favorite matches of the year.
Oh
And
yeah, they just put it up on the WWE YouTube
oh, I
a
gotta
couple
watch it.
days ago. Yeah, I rewatched it. It was amazing, bro.
Fantastic match. And now he's pretty much fucking he's down and out. He's cooked, and that's sad. I think by all metrics that AJ Styles is a lot of people's favorite wrestler, and he just had such a huge kind of mark on the wrestling world, and for him to be fucked up like this is really sucks, man.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
get well soon to AJ Styles. Um, I want to talk about something on here while we because I mean again we're running and I'm gonna have a rant on this on Patreon about these shorter shows, and I'm sorry, I don't care who fucking doesn't like it. But I want to talk about this Bloodline stuff, man.
Okay. They
It,
got they they ram dang doodle us.
yeah, I
They
mean, well,
they were
well
like tape show.
a lot of times with this, well, SmackDown wasn't taped, right? SmackDown
No,
got
SmackDown wasn't tape.
it has a tape. No, I didn't get taped because they're going to be live on Friday. But um, I'm gonna be real. The Bloodline thing was kind of dead in the water. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
it's been kind of just coasting off of really Cody's superstardom. I like regardless of where you stand on that, like it only got hot whenever they were in the proximity of somebody that were hotter than Solo and Jacob and all of them. Like I went on this rant last week, but in the past week after Jimmy came back, I really enjoyed the promo. I think that what I love character wise from Roman right now is that he really like Blood still thinks that he's a tribal chief, and
Hmm.
he's not. And he's not. And I really like and you could tell Heyman's back. Can I just be
Yeah.
clear? You could tell he's back behind the wheel here. But how'd you feel about like the Jimmy promo? Jimmy kind of being real with Roman and the kind of the subtle character changes that are happening with Roman week by week, which I think they've been doing kind of exquisitely so far.
I think it's important we do this because I feel like the one arc that hasn't really been carved out in a very noticeable or strong way is Jimmy. Um, and that's mainly because so having him kind of like the first person to really jump back into the fold is a really really great plan, and having him be the one to really initiate all this stuff, he's doing a lot of the legwork, so it's really Jimmy's bloodline, while Roman is like, I mean, Roman's going to be on TV for the next couple of weeks anyway, but it's really him to initiate and do all this work. It's him to get all the shine. It's him who's going to have to be able to pull Jay back in. And I love the stuff on Friday. First of all, I love the it was like you want to acknowledge Jimmy, and Jimmy's like, hey man, turn that up too. He's a character, he's funny as hell. And also asking for the mic was also hilarious. Um I look forward, I mean, I think this is great. Ironically, this is weird enough. I was like, this Jimmy versus Solo match It's better than Jimmy's last match. I'll tell you.
I bro, well fuck, well we don't have to review it on the show, but like I thought this match was really good. I was like,
Yeah. But
it's like
also, my thing is also, unfortunately, Solo is just like he need a little bit more oomph.
yeah,
Like, the match is good. The match is sound and everything. But he's not the big bad that he once was. He's very much a mid-card act. It's,
yeah,
it's becoming painfully clear. Like, I think LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa would go crazy.
it ripped. And I think we've seen it before, and it was actually kind of solid, if I remember right.
Yeah.
About a
But
year
I
ago.
think where they're at now, it would definitely go crazy.
Yeah. And what I seen from Solo, he's kind of getting himself back into shape too.
Yeah.
Because from I mean, I'm guessing he's understanding I'm about to be working a lot.
Roman came back, was like, "Oh, this is what we
Yeah,
doing?"
yeah, I gotta get back in shape because Roman he not gonna play. He do 30 minutes or less, so we gotta work. But I think that again, like it branches off into what happens on Raw. But and I guess we can get to it too. I guess because it kind of ties into it. But
It's Bloodline.
let me just say, like Raw was hilarious because I know a lot of the people in the building did not see any of these tape vignettes that they put on the show.
No, not at all. They had Joe in on Thursday doing voiceovers and shit.
Yeah.
And Joe in the
I was like,
studio in the
oh,
stew.
I was like, bro, there is like, they're like usually tape shows. There's no real reason to watch. This week, you can skip around, like skip the match parts, but you really had to watch like the vignettes and stuff because
Shout out to Jalen, who was like, it's so hilarious. Clearly, they did Jay and Jimmy's thing in a completely different building.
yes, it was probably Friday, right? Like
Yeah, probably.
there were so many changes to Raw, like because they had to do it with the knowledge that they would be doing something ahead of time. So Cody didn't have the band-aid on his nose and the scratches on his face anymore, like he did on Friday,
Right,
because they had healed. And then Jimmy was Jimmy was like a totally different character that he had to act like he was. So Jimmy does show up on quote show up on Raw backstage, and he confronts Jay if for a tiny amount of time. So it seems to me that Jimmy has called Jay, or it's implied that he's already asked him for help, because the main thing is that Cody's out of the picture at this point. It is now Roman versus the new bloodline. And
right.
they need help. And Jimmy says, bro, we need help. And Roman don't want to believe it. Roman's like, no yeet. We don't need no help. No yeet. I thought that was funny as shit. But Jimmy takes it upon himself, I guess, to go to Raw to ask Jay for help. And Jay kind of, rebuffs his offer. Interesting timing here because of what Braun says in the vignette on the same show. Um,
Yeah,
where do we think this is gonna go? Because I think the biggest, to me, the most interesting reconciliation is Jay and Roman. But Jimmy and Jay seems to be like the bridge they want to go at first.
I think if WWE does anything well, especially in this Triple H era, it's break niggas up and then put them back together again. It is like a calling card of like, let's try, we already got Coke. Let's try Coke Vanilla. And then we hit them back with the Coke Classic. And this is very much the Coke Classic that they're calling up here.
Boy,
I look,
that Judgment Day reunion about to hit, nigga.
of course, man. You know how it's about to go. No, but I like everything that they did thus far. I think even because I didn't expect anything from Raw. I expected the backstage segments, but I didn't even expect this. But
Yeah,
I
that
think
was a shock.
this is tremendous. This is some good stuff. So, I'm looking forward to it, man. Like it's been, I don't want even want to say it's been long enough, because it's literally been since WrestleMania. But for the sake of like family and kind of like fighting this big evil and stuff like that, like, you got to get people who are blood. You got to get people who you got to get people who you can trust, and brothers.
So
I would love to see like Solo also tries to recruit Jay.
that'd be hilarious. No, nigga.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm your brother too.
Nigga. No, I think that again, as we go into War Games, it's seeming kind of clear to me that what it's going to be on that end. And I gotta I got a
Shit's gonna sell so much fucking tickets, bro.
sinking suspicion about the second one, but we'll lock into that on Patreon. But I think that you got to get Sammy back. You got to get Jay back. The story is how they do it, and with it looks to me a lot of the I guess the regional show wide stuff not being in effect is in the fall meals. It always gets loose with the
All hands on deck, baby.
yeah, like the brand split gets a little loose, and we're already seeing that this week on the shows.
It's just Punk ain't gonna be there. Um, fucking Drew ain't gonna be there. Seth pretty much isn't there. Like
Seth, completely different outfit on Raw. We'll get to Raw on Patreon, but
it just is what it is. Yeah, no, but this is getting fun as we build towards Survivor Series. So I'm looking forward to this.
absolutely. So we got NXT coming up this week as well. Triple threat.
Back in the PC.
Back, yes, sir. Back in the PC. We get to see the new set tonight. We get the Wesley, Ethan Page, Javon Evans triple threat. We get the Stephanie Vacker in ring debut. I'm very excited about this. This is actually
For
kind of cool
Stephanie or Ren?
for Stephanie, man. Come on, Ren got it. Ren is about to carry Stephanie to a 4-star match. It's let's just be clear, man. This is where we're going, bro.
It was some good business last week. They did some good stuff last week.
What else is there
Tony
here?
DB Obafemi. That was big.
That was a big deal. I get why they closed the show like that, but I feel like Tony D could have definitely main event. Is he the first white guy since Johnny Gargano to have that title?
Let me go back through the history. They had to be a white guy before Wesley, right?
Adam Cole.
No, it was
Johnny Gargano and him,
it
right?
was right. So it was Obafemi, Wesley, Carmelo, Solo, Carmelo. Who happened before? Oh, Swerve.
Yeah. And he got it from Gargano, right?
He
got it from Bronson. He got it from Bronson.
Bronson, still not white technically.
Nope. Technically, it's crazy. Go ahead.
And then I guess it would be Gargano for sure.
Yeah.
Or Priest.
Priest is people of color. Let's just say people of color. People of color.
Yeah, people of color. Yeah, so it is what it is. Shout out to, I guess, big Columbus Day, Italian Heritage Day celebration with this title. So we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah. One more thing, Nakamura is going to be a Pro Wrestling Noah. Is this contract coming up? Is he almost over?
I don't know, bro. We're gonna have to see.
I haven't seen him on TV in a really long time, but that's the last bit of news. We're going to go over to Patreon really quick, so I can go on my rant about these short WWE shows. And until next week, I'm hoping something big happens. I'm like, it's good. It's good to have a
say that, but then someone gonna get released, and then someone.
You know what? I'm willing. I'm a will it into existence. It's been long enough. Let's get some drama. But thank you guys for listening to the A Show. For Meelz, I'm Justin. We'll see you guys next week on the show. Peace out.